Game. What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with 420 Gamer TV, bringing you another wake and bake relationship talk with Friday the 13th. God dang it, my shoulder hurts. But this one is knowing when you're actually in love, and I mean truly in love, because there's different types of love, like, you know, how I love my son, like, wholeheartedly and dearly with everything, and then there was how I loved, I mean, I'll be honest, I mean, I did love each one of my exes, because I'm the kind of person that, you know, I don't just date to date. I date because I like the person, and I, like, you know, eventually do fall in love if I'm actually with them long enough. God, my nose. But there's multiple different forms, and, you know, each one of them is just as important, but knowing when you're actually, like, in love with the person that you're actually with, and that's really hard to know, but at the same time, if you've actually had, I wouldn't say as many relationships as me, because I didn't have that many, but I've had enough to know that how I treat them is definitely should be a reflection of how they treat me. Easy as putting their feelings into consideration. You're always thinking about what they would want, or what they would want to do, or go out and eat, or anything else, but yet they're not putting you into consideration. Like, you love that person. That's obviously you love them. But if they're not putting you into consideration, then, you know, that should be a definite thought process that maybe, just maybe, that person might not feel the exact same for you that, you know, you might for them. Which has happened to me, God, a lot. I don't know how many girlfriends I've dated that, you know, just had a falling out with me just because. And they've ended up finding the person that they were truly in love with. Because that's what they did. They put that person's feelings and what that person wanted ahead of what they wanted. And when you can actually do that, when you can actually put someone else's feelings and wants ahead of yours, and, you know, it doesn't bother you that, you know, you're putting them ahead of yourself. Matter of fact, it actually kind of makes you feel pretty much good about yourself, and it makes you feel good that, you know, they're actually happy about your help because they're actually, you know, telling you thank you. Because, I mean, if you're getting consideration by the person, such as, you know, they're telling you thank you for, you know, helping with the house, or thank you for surprising me with this, or thank you for, I mean, just thank you in general. Acknowledging your efforts. If they're acknowledging your efforts and everything you do, then, you know, that's a sign that they love you. Now, if, you know, you have to constantly fight or argue or, you know, bicker with them about affection and or, you know, attention or anything that, you know, you shouldn't be having to, you know, fight or argue with them about, then, you know, it's a sign that your feelings for them are way different than their feelings for you. And, you know, it's not too hard of a thing to imagine of something like that actually happening, because it happens quite a bit. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how many people have gotten with the wrong people and have been massively damaged because of it. And I'm going to be honest, I'm definitely one of those people. I mean, I've been cheated on and broken up with by so many different girlfriends, and the funny thing is that... Hmm? Oh yeah, that's one of the many school buses that come through here. His school bus doesn't get here until like 8:30, so I have about 2 hours. Thank you for letting me know, though. Wow, my shoulder hurts a lot. What do I do? But God, oh, when, you know, you're doing that and they won't put your feelings or what your wants into consideration, and you're always having to argue or fight or, you know, try to, like, get their attentions from, you know, which is something that you shouldn't have to do. Technically, actually, you know, they should be wanting to do all that stuff for you no matter what. At least that's how I see it, because that's how I was whenever I'm with somebody. I always try to put what they want ahead of what I want, as long as, you know, as long as I can. And I mean, I'm always truthful and honest to the point where if I can't do something, then I can't do it. I don't like giving people false hopes. Promise something that you can't deliver upon, then that makes you a liar. And I'm one of those people that, you know, I prefer honesty over, you know, just a sugar-coated lie. And I mean, I've had lots of exes do that to me. I've had lots of exes pretty much lie to my face, like, for a long duration of time, telling me that, you know, they had affection for me, they cared about me, they loved me, and certain things. And it was actually more of they cared about the things I was able to give them, or the things I was able to do for them, or the money I was able to give them, or the security that I gave them, to the point where they didn't have to worry about, you know, paying their bills, or worrying about, like, if they were running out of money, or anything in general, to the point where they had to, you know, worry about certain aspects in their life, because they already had someone doing that for them, which was me. I'd say a majority of my exes were pretty much that to me. Shit, my last ex, well, I can't say my last ex, but, my son's mom, she, like, our relationship was like a father-daughter, like, relationship. Like, I was like her father, even though she was older than me. I felt like I was raising her and shit, because, like, I had to clean up after her, you know, which, I mean, I have no problem with. I have no problem picking up a mess after someone else that I'm with, but when it's, like, a constant thing, but yet she'll complain about me leaving, like, a mess behind or something, because, you know, maybe I just got done eating and I left a plate there or something. Because I am going to admit, I'm a very messy man. But I've gotten used to pretty much doing everything on my own, and pretty much having to choose what's the priority to clean up, my area or these areas, you know. And I generally don't have too many people come around in my personal area too much, so I tend to clean other areas more. Especially when it comes to my room, like yesterday, when my son was at a birthday party. My brother's friend, she has a little girl. She had a birthday party yesterday, and she actually messaged me and asked if he can go over and have some fun. I was like, heck yeah. Gave him some time to go and have fun, interact with some more kids, and, you know, do the kid thing, and actually enjoy himself, which is something kids should be able to do. I mean, I enjoyed the fact that he was gone, because of the fact of the matter is it gave me a second to actually clean his fucking room. He sees him there too. He'll come after me next, watch. Shit. He's still there. He's disappearing and reappearing. Fuck you, Jason. Really? You didn't see that there? I did.
Please, no!
this is the thing about being in love. Loving the other person, well, for some people will come easy. Now, the hard part is finding the person who has the equal feelings for you. And what I mean is, you're putting their wants, their feelings, their emotions ahead of yours. Well, they should be doing the same thing. Like, they should actually know what your favorite color is, favorite food is, you know, favorite place to go, like your hobbies, certain things. And, you know, when they actually have consideration and actually have love and admiration for you, then when you're just sitting there, whether it be, you know, it's just a chill night, you're just hanging out, and, you know, they just decide to surprise you with one of your favorite, like, little snacks or whatever. Because I've had lots of exes who had, like, a sweet tooth. I mean, I used to have a huge sweet tooth when I was younger. But they're doing that. And they're surprising you with your favorite chocolate or, you know, your favorite form of junk food. Because my favorite form of food is Mexican food, because I'm Hispanic. And that's something I don't get too often. And when I do, I enjoy eating it. I mean, and the only, like, good fast food place just up here in Alaska is really Taco Bell. And I mean, I've always enjoyed Taco Bell, but there's times that I just want to, like, go out to the store, buy all the traditional ingredients, and just make enchiladas. I miss making enchiladas and tamales. I just wish it was so darn expensive to do so. But, you know, when you're in love with that other person, you know, you will pretty much tolerate the way they treat you no matter what. Whether it be, you know, they ignore you or, you know, they're constantly always getting mad at you. Like, with my previous ex, I mean, she decided to break up with me. And I mean, not just break up with me, but the fact of the matter is that every single day that I would wake up, and she would wake me up at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning every single day. And I would wake up to a long list of text messages, well, technical Facebook messages. And, you know, they first would start out fine, you know, like normal messages. And then they'd go from that to, like, you know, as if I responded in some kind of, like, negative way, which, of course, I didn't respond because I was sleeping. But, she decided to proceed to go from, you know, being perfectly fine, asking how I'm doing, asking how Noah's doing, telling me she loves me and shit, to, asking if I'm busy, asking if, you know, asking what I'm doing, asking if I'm asleep, and then proceeds from I'm asleep to I hate you, and, you know, you're the worst, you make me feel bad, a whole lot of other shit. And, I mean, it gets worse, to the point where she finally says, okay, fine, you don't want to talk to me, I break with you, shit like that. And it's like, okay. And dealing with that for over a month, waking up to that, for over a month, I just threw my hands up and said, fuck it, whatever.
Mommy is proud.
And ever since then, her and some of her family members have been bugging me about forgiving her and shit. It's like, why should I forgive her? She broke up with me. She decided to, you know, continuously try to, and then when I finally just said, fuck it, you know, and gave her what she wanted, she's not happy about it. Well, that's not my fault. You know, I was in love, I was actually happy, but the thing is, when, you know, someone decides to break up with me and decides to go, okay, you know, hey, I'm gonna go do this now, or I want to go be with this person now, I tend to listen. You know, I've learned to, like, let people go do what they want to go do, especially if they know how you feel about them. If they know how you feel about them and they choose to go do what they want to go do, and they know it's gonna hurt you, then that person doesn't love you. And I've learned over the years not to waste your love on somebody who is not going to love you equally. Period. And I've also learned to not to waste time on the whole. What would be the proper word for it? I mean, I wouldn't say connection, because I've had connections with all my exes. It'd be more of the whole, like, holding on to the bitter memories. With me, once they end it, they end it. I'm no longer, attached to them in any way, shape, or form. But I've had attachment issues with, like, family members, so it's been easy for me to, like, let go of people, I guess. That's what it is. It's being able to let go. Being able to, like, kind of, like, let go of the emotions of, the love for that person. Which, to be honest, they never go away. Just, if you do what I do, which is, remember what they did to you, makes it easier to get over what they did. And makes it get easier for you to get over the fact that, they broke up with you, they cheated on you, they used you, whatever may be the case, to cause the fact that you are no longer with the person you were with. And or why you're questioning on if they love you or not. Because even if you start questioning, if you're questioning on if they love you, if you're sitting there wondering, it's like, do they really love me? That's a warning sign. That right there kind of should tell you that they just might not, if you're doubting that they do. Unless you're, like, an extremely young person. I mean, like, teenagers, like, early teens, and you've never dated before. Like, if you've never dated before, yeah, I can see that being a possibility. But, medical spray. I guess I'll take it. But, radio. I just found out, just over the years, it's just a massive waste of your time to just waste on pulling out emotions and feelings for somebody and wasting them on somebody who isn't going to do the same for you. Because in this life, we're not always promised tomorrow. I'm a firm believer that, you should always take advantage of the day that you have and the time that you have, and, try to live life to the fullest. Maybe not per se do exactly all you want whenever you want, no. I mean, that's, not the adult thing to do. But still, when you can, and when it's, the proper time, then, you should definitely do so. Because you'll just be miserable and unhappy if you're sitting there and you're constantly putting others ahead of yourself. And that's just the thing, too. If you actually find the proper person, the right person, then you won't ever have to put yourself first. Because they're doing it for you. And that is when you know that you found someone who equally loves you. Is you no longer have to try to make yourself happy. Because they're doing it for you. And that's the purpose of being with someone and finding a soulmate, or, the love of your life, whatever you want to call it, the person that you're supposed to be with. And for some people, they find that person early on. For others, it's a trial and error kind of like thing. With me, and I've had lots of trials and errors. But in doing so, I've been able to actually, gain a certain aspect and grasp on, what I really, really want. What I want for myself, what I want for my son, what kind of person I am. And I know that, I am a family man. I actually want to be with someone and only with one person. I don't want my son growing up and seeing his father go from woman to woman to woman. I'd rather it just be, him seeing one person that he's going to view as mom the rest of his life, instead of, oh, dad has another girlfriend. Don't really want him going through that. And that's one of the things that I fear the most, is that, people are going to, like, either talk to him or make fun of him and go, oh yeah, your dad's one of those typical dudes, yada yada. I don't want people thinking like that. Oh shit. No, drop dead. But, I want him to actually be happy and proud of what I've actually done. Which is why I've always tried to find just that one person. Because I really do want him to have a motherly figure. Like, I want him to have a woman in the house that would be the proper role model for him to view, for a woman for him to look for. You know what I mean? And I mean, I know there's plenty of people out there who have households where
Why
it's
won't you
single parents.
fucking die?
I mean, I come from a household where, my mom raised me and my brothers all by herself. But she was also the mom who, went through boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend. And that's where I always wanted to just do the opposite. Probably don't have a video after this though. But, that's how you have a good idea though on if someone actually loves you equally as much as you love them. Is if they're equally doing as much for you as you are for them. And I mean, I'm not particularly talking about, cooking and cleaning or, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about, the little things. Remembering, your birthdays, remembering, certain, special times with you and stuff like that, Someone's actually in there. Ah! Run away! Go, go! But yeah, that's the best way to actually know if, someone's actually in love with you. Is if they put you first. Like, and I mean truthfully first, not like, every once in a while they decide to do something for you. I mean, like, quite often they're thinking of you. Quite often you're on their mind. Quite often you're their focus, their purpose. Because all the people I've always been with, it's always been like that with me. I've always pretty much put what they wanted first. And I've had no problem doing so either.
Please, no!
Please, no! You got me. Ella, go! Go! You're not supposed to be in here, go! Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it a video. I hope everyone enjoyed the advice. I hope everyone had a great day, great night, great evening, all that great shit. You know exactly what I mean. Catch me for my next one. Later.